So you know how they say women mature faster than men? I don't think that's a biological thing. I could be wrong, but I think it's an experiential thing because long before she's anywhere near a full-grown woman, men are looking at this girl like she's a piece of meat. And women have to learn how to be 10 steps ahead of men at a much earlier age than men need to learn how to watch out for bad women. So oftentimes, men who are misguided or boys who are misguided often mishandle them, unfortunately. But this message right here is for men who actually want to get married. You want a great woman, and there are plenty of them out there. You want a great wife, you want a great life, but for some reason you keep running into the same roadblocks. Well, there could be many reasons for that, but one of them that I want to point out today is that she might have run into you a million times before. Like women, especially women that are goal oriented, and being a wife is very high on that list, which are the ones you should be looking for. If she's run into you a million times before, she's good. Pew, she's out of there, right? Because she's looking for a man that's sturdy in wisdom and character, right? And integrity. Somebody that really loves the Lord. Somebody that's not just running around saying, I love God, and goes to church whenever they go to church, but their life bears no fruit, right? I can't tell you how many women that I know that are like great women. Like, like everybody needs a little work and a little guidance and leadership, but I mean, great foundations that have run into so much hurt and pain and remorse about the choices that they've made, and men giving people shots that honestly weren't ready for the shot. And does it happen with men also? Of course, every day. But the point is, as men, we have to be accountable. We have to take responsibility for covering the women in our society. Like, if that's not a priority, something's wrong, right? Especially if you're a man that's been a bad man before, right? If you have had your phase, you've had your days, right, where you were moving around crazy, you should get to a point at some point where you realize that, like, no, I was moving crazy. It's time to make up for my mistakes and for the mistakes of my brothers, right? We should be in a place at this point with all this information running around, with all these women going missing, with all these children going missing. We should be at a point now, universally, where we realize that they need our covering. Obviously, God first. God, man, woman, child, right? That's the natural and supernatural order of things. There wouldn't be all this division if men were truly moving in the covenant of God, the Most High God. We will be covering these women universally, and the children would be covered universally. It's really just that simple. That's the format. But the reality is, girls that have gotten guidance and girls that have figured out their value, they form contingency plans early in life. It can see you a mile away when your intention is just to move on the flesh, right? Especially if she is well put together and she's taking care of herself. Every time she walks out the house, even if nobody actually says anything, there's lustful eyes everywhere she goes. You don't think she knows how to spot a lustful eye? And if you think you're smart enough to try to hide it until you can get what you want, it's only going to come out at some point. Like, you don't understand the power of a woman of God, right? She has intuition that she'll never understand. And it's not really intuition, it's Holy Spirit, right? But we can call it intuition. She has a sense to discern the truth that you may never understand if you're still moving in your flesh, bro. Period. It is what it is. So if you want that woman in your dreams, you want that dope, godly woman, that goal-oriented woman that'll add value that you can't even put a price on to your life, get out of your flesh. Get in your word. Learn how to lead like a real man of God. Submit to God. Submit to that covenant, and she'll meet you there. That's the nugget. I love y'all.